CNN makes two projections in New Hampshire. CNN projects that Donald Trump will be the winner of the New Hampshire Republican primary. We also project that Bernie Sanders will be the winner of the Democratic primary in New Hampshire. There you see the winner, Donald Trump, the Republican primary winner. Bernie Sanders, we project, will be the Democratic winner. We make that projection on the basis of the exit poll information we have received. We also make that projection on the actual numbers, the actual votes that have already been tallied. All of the polls in those states, are now closed. Let's take a look at the pictures right now from Donald Trump headquarters. You can see they're beginning to get the word. They are ready to celebrate right now. Donald Trump headquarters, Bernie Sanders headquarters, they've got the word as well. The CNN projections, Trump is the winner in New Hampshire. Bernie Sanders is the winner in New Hampshire. The Republican race, the Democratic race, obviously a lot of excitement right there. The polls apparently were very accurate. On the basis of the actual numbers, though, and the exit polls, we have those projections. Let's go to Dana and Jake. Jake, this is a moment that Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump have been waiting for.
What a stunning, stunning moment, Wolf. And again, I say, 2 years ago, if somebody had told you that Bernie Sanders, an independent Democratic socialist from Vermont, and Donald Trump, a businessman and developer from New York City, were going to win the Democratic and Republican New Hampshire primaries, you would have said
easily.
You would have said I was crazy.
I would have said you were crazy. I have to be honest with you. And I think that what this does is obviously officially puts Donald Trump on the map and answers the question that we were talking about beforehand, which is whether or not he can bring those supporters to the polls. It didn't happen in Iowa as much as he wanted. It happened tonight. And it is pretty astonishing when you think about the fact that he's never been a politician before, ever. And he just won the New Hampshire primary.
It's astounding. It is a great night for Donald Trump, a great night for Bernie Sanders, a great night for their supporters, a horrible night for the Democratic establishment, and a horrible night for the Republican establishment, as CNN projects that Donald Trump will be the winner of the New Hampshire Republican primary, and Bernie Sanders, the senator from Vermont, will be the winner of the New Hampshire Democratic primary. Let's go right to Trump headquarters, where we have our own Jim Acosta. And Jim, I can't even imagine the shouting and cheering going on where you are. The other campaign headquarters going bananas this evening is that of Senator Bernie Sanders in Concord, New Hampshire, where we find our own Brianna Keilar. Brianna, the mood there must be just jubilation.
Oh, definitely, Jake. We heard them as soon as the projection came out. They were watching CNN, and people here just went crazy, yelling, "Bernie, Bernie, Bernie." And actually, all of this happening before a lot of people were even able to get into this event here at Concord High School, I should say. But this is what all of these supporters of Bernie Sanders were expecting. And this has been fulfilled for them. And now what they're really looking forward to is, of course, the candidate coming out and giving his speech. We do understand that that is going to happen sooner than later now with these projections out there. But this was something obviously so important for Bernie Sanders after his narrow loss in Iowa. He certainly felt like his message about a rigged economy was resonating here in New Hampshire. And that's what we really saw yesterday during his series of events. Today, he really took it easy, clearly confident that he was going to cruise to a win here in the Granite State, and we'll be awaiting him here at Concord High School, guys.
All right, Brianna Keilar at Sanders headquarters in Concord, New Hampshire. It didn't take long for CNN to project that Sanders won the event, and in fact, the concession was already at the ready by the Clinton campaign headquarters. Jeff Zeleny is traveling with the Clinton campaign and joins us now, I believe, by phone. Jeff, what is the Clinton campaign saying?
Well, Jake, the Clinton campaign is saying at this hour that they do intend to concede. In fact, they have and are conceding this election. The Clintons, Bill and Hillary Clinton, are at their hotel in Manchester. They will be making their way just outside of Manchester to the campus of the University of Southern New Hampshire, where they will concede this election. Jake, quite frankly, they're trying to spin this loss as just another contest. But of course, we know it is so much more than that. This is New Hampshire, the state that she won 8 years ago, that delivered Bill Clinton to the White House in 1992. They're putting out a memo tonight calling it the way forward. Campaign manager Rabia Mook is putting out this memo saying the rest is yet to come, and they're saying that this nomination will be won in March. And they lay out in very detailed strategies how they can win this nomination in March because it's a delegate fight. And they are right in saying that some 56% of the delegates will be awarded in March. But this is a moral blow to their campaign. This is a reset for their campaign. It is hard to overestimate the changes and just the structural decisions that will be made from here going forward. But they are getting out in front of this, and they will be conceding tonight as soon as the Clintons get here, as soon as all their supporters get into this arena tonight.
And Jeff, we have, of course, heard all of the spin, all of the expectations in the days and weeks leading up to this, that, of course, this is going to happen because it's Bernie Sanders, practically his home turf because he's from the state next door. But as you said, there's a lot in politics to be said about kind of a moral or psychological blow. But beyond that, just looking forward after this, Bernie Sanders has a lot of money and a lot of staying power and enthusiasm behind him to make this a long-haul competition. Doesn't he?
He does, no doubt about it. I don't know if you guys can
set up here, but I'll continue talking on about the phone. He does have a lot of money behind him, no question at all, and that is the thing that frustrates this Clinton campaign, really the key thing at all, that they are able to raise money, really unprecedented measures, organically over the internet, more than Barack Obama could have done 8 years ago, to put it into some perspective for you. So that's why this campaign will be a long fight, really until the convention here now. That's what this loss tonight ensures. This will be a fight until at least the spring or the convention.
All right, Jeff Zeleny traveling with the Clinton campaign. A rough night for the campaign, but as they rightly point out, this is going to be a long, long campaign, and one night of bad news does not end the campaign. And now, of course, the big challenge for Bernie Sanders to turn his campaign even more into a credible national operation. Let's bring in CNN's Mark Preston for that. How are they going to do it? Because as you know, Clinton so far has had commanding leads among especially minority voters in states such as South Carolina and Nevada, which are the next two up.
Well, what's going on right now, Jake, is they're no longer looking at this as a singular geographical contest. We had Iowa, we had New Hampshire. There's a lot of talk about us just going straight to South Carolina, then Nevada. Now they're opening it all up. They see this as a national campaign. They're looking at states such as Colorado, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Oklahoma. They're putting ad dollars into these states. They're also noting that in March, a majority of the caucuses happen during this time period, over these 30 days. Now, these caucuses are largely driven by the grassroots, the enthusiasm, and this is the Bernie Sanders type of support. They also note that going into Michigan on March 8th, to expect to see the compare and contrast on trade, TPP and NAFTA, they are going to hit Hillary Clinton hard on that. As we know, Hillary Clinton back in the fall decided to come out against TPP, even though during her time,
the Pacific trade deal,
the Trans-Pacific trade deal, during her time in the Obama administration, she was supportive of it. So yes, 50-state campaign. They think they're coming out of this tonight, Jake. They're going to get more money to fuel this campaign, and they're going to try to open it up.
An exciting night in politics. Wolf, let's go back to you in the CNN Election Center.
Very exciting indeed, Jake. Once again, CNN's projections that Bernie Sanders wins on the Democratic side, and on the Republican side, Donald Trump is the winner. But look at this. There's a major battle for second place among the Republicans.